Unbiased Reveal channel. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Peter. Yeah. Today we're doing a deep dive into the compiled wisdom of Charlie Munger, a financial icon who spent, 90 years watching us humans make the same mistakes over and over?
Right. And the quick summary, getting rich. It isn't about being some kind of genius finding the next Amazon. It's actually the tedious job of just not being spectacularly stupid.
Yeah, it means embracing radical boredom.
Yeah.
Accepting that your biggest enemy isn't the Fed or, a market crash. It's you. It's that messy, impulsive person living inside your head.
It's the anti-success manual, basically.
Yeah.
And it works because it focuses on what not to do.
Exactly. So this deep dive, it's about discipline, really, not rah-rah inspiration.
And look, navigating this stuff, this philosophical minefield, well, deep knowledge is crucial if you want to capitalize on volatility. And tell them we have the best crypto referral link in description. Okay, so let's unpack Munger's, maybe his most provocative claim. Most people fail, not because they lack intelligence. They're smart enough.
Oh, yeah, often very smart.
Yeah. But they just refuse to do the simple, the dull, the, totally unsexy things that actually build wealth over time. They always seem to choose the beautiful lie, the complex scheme.
The get-rich-quick thing.
Exactly.
Oh.
Over the blunt, boring truth, which is just discipline and patience.
And what's really interesting here is how Munger just completely shifts the blame away from, the market or the economy. He argues your personality is your #1 financial enemy. Full stop.
Mm-hmm.
He saw it countless times. People, often young, really well-educated, technically brilliant maybe, they get their first chunk of capital, maybe through luck, maybe just being in the right place during a boom.
And then, poof, it's gone.
Precisely. They lose it to ego, to leverage, maybe lifestyle creep, or just thinking that their lucky streak means they're suddenly untouchable, invincible.
They confuse a rising tide lifting their boat with them being a master sailor.
That's it exactly. So the market volatility didn't ruin them. Their own character flaws did.
But hang on, isn't that a bit harsh? I mean, surely sometimes the market is the problem.
Brr.
Or is Munger really saying it's always an internal thing, a behavioral failure?
He seems pretty convinced, yeah. There's that golden sentence of his. If you keep falling into the same hole, that's not experience, that's a habit.
Ouch.
Right? It's the relentless, predictable stupidity that kills your capital. People make a mistake, craft some story to excuse it, and then, bam, they do it again.
That's the arrogance cax he talks about, right?
Yeah.
He sees the market not as some, high IQ battle between PhDs.
No, not at all.
It's more like a long, slow war between patience and just sheer overconfidence. You could be the smartest person on paper, but the overconfident ones, they always eventually just willingly hand over their money to the patient ones.
Almost inevitable.
You think you're special, but nope. You're just statistical data waiting your turn to pay that arrogance fee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this leads straight into his whole anti-inspiration thing. He'd say, don't get inspired by this deep dive. Get disciplined. If you want to last in finance, you absolutely must accept boredom. Embrace it even. In Munger's view, boredom is almost the same as longevity. And longevity, well, that's almost the same as wealth.
Okay, so if character failure is the Achilles heel, what's Munger's absolute #1 non-negotiable rule for just staying in the game? It's got to be rule 1, don't die broke.
It sounds so ridiculously obvious, doesn't it? But he saw people fail right at the edges. People get wiped out financially trying to be a little bit smarter, adding a little bit of leverage, borrowing a little bit of money.
A little bit.
Yeah, that tiny bit of extra risk, that's where the disaster always happens. Financial ruin, it's rarely some sudden lightning strike. It's usually a slow creep of small, supposedly clever decisions that snowball into one massive, stupid outcome.
And this connects to that phrase he hated, right?
Yeah.
This time is different.
Oh, he despised that. He talked about funds crashing back in '73 because they put all their faith in these super complex computer models instead of just basic common sense. They thought they'd found a way around risk.
And when the market turned, the models didn't help.
Nope, because common sense tells you to hold some cash. Models, they don't usually factor that in properly. Cash isn't a dead asset just sitting there. It's your ammunition. It's for buying when everyone else is panicking and selling things cheap.
Right. Rational people, Munger would say, no, they can't predict the future. So they prepare. They prepare for the crash that will eventually come.
Think about 1987. When the market tanked, the folks holding cash didn't just, survive. They bought the next 20 years of amazing returns for pennies on the dollar.
And the math of loss is just It's brutal. We all love thinking about a 100% gain, doubling our money. But Munger, he zeroes in on the 90% loss.
Yeah, because if you lose 90% of your capital, you need to make 9 times your remaining money a 900% gain just to get back to where you started.
Which is practically impossible for most people. You just don't recover from that kind of hit.
Exactly. So risk management. It isn't some boring compliance term. It's like breathing. Munger said he'd rather miss 10 great opportunities than risk losing principal even once. Never, ever play a game where you can't afford to lose your stake.
Which naturally leads us to rule number 2, maybe implicitly, the power of slow. The real discipline, Munger argues, is being able to just sit there, to endure like 10 years of things being kind of boring.
15 years of quiet?
20 years of your neighbors thinking you're an idiot because they're chasing meme stocks and you're not.
That ability to just wait, to tolerate the quiet, that's why compounding works its magic. But it only works for the few who can actually stick with it.
There's that other golden sentence. It's almost harsh.
The reason the poor are poor is because they can't stand boredom. They always need excitement. They confuse all that noise and frantic activity with actual progress.
Okay, so we've covered managing your own internal chaos, your character flaws, and surviving the basic math of risk. Now let's look outward. Managing the chaos around you. Munger famously said his costliest mistake wasn't a bad stock.
No, it was choosing the wrong people. Bad partners.
Right. You can't do business with a skunk and not end up smelling bad yourself.
It's so true. And foolishness, it's incredibly contagious. If everyone in your circle is gambling, taking crazy risks, your own sense of reason starts to erode. You start thinking, maybe I'm the slow one.
That's that external pressure just pushing you off course.
Yeah.
He preferred, didn't he, an honest fool over a clever liar.
Absolutely. Because a fool might waste your time, sure. But the clever liar, they will strategically figure out how to bankrupt you. Munger said the world's cheapest lesson is just getting out early from a bad partnership. Don't try to fix someone else's flawed character. Just walk away. Avoid them completely.
Okay, next toxic entanglement. Envy. This one's insidious. Munger calls it the mother of all financial disasters, even worse than greed.
Yeah, which sounds counterintuitive, right? But his reasoning is sharp. Envy is the only one of the 7 deadly sins, he says, that gives you zero pleasure whatsoever.
Huh. That's quite a thought. Greed at least feels kind of good while you're getting stuff.
Exactly. But envy, it just makes you miserable. And why is it worse financially? Because envy is all about comparison. People aren't just motivated by wanting more for themselves. They're motivated by wanting to be better than others, or at least look better.
So that leads to reckless stuff.
Totally. Reckless, impulsive investing, using leverage you shouldn't, chasing super high-risk things just because your neighbor made a quick buck on some crypto coin and you feel like you're falling behind. Greed makes you want more. Envy makes you risk everything just because someone else has something shiny.
God, that sounds exhausting. So true freedom, in Munger's world, is freedom from comparison.
That's it. As long as you're measuring your own worth or success against somebody else, you're basically working for them. You're letting their life dictate your decisions.
Okay, third toxic thing, debt. Munger is absolutely brutal on debt.
Relentless. Debt starts out looking like your friend, right? Enjoy now, pay later. It whispers sweet nothings.
But it quickly becomes your master.
Oh, yeah. It forces you into what's essentially modern servitude, just grinding away to make those interest payments.
Debt just steals your options, doesn't it? Takes away your sleep, your dignity sometimes, and definitely your future earning power. You see these people earning huge salaries.
But they're drowning in debt. Maxed out credit cards, they're just borrowing from their future selves to pay for today's wants.
Collateralizing their future, basically.
Exactly. And Munger had this really cruel but necessary question you have to ask before taking on debt, especially for business or investment.
What's that?
Ask yourself, if everything goes totally wrong, if this venture fails spectacularly, if the market crashes, can I still sleep at night? If the answer is no, Munger says just stay still, don't do it. If the potential loss is going to cost you sleep, you're basically trading your peace of mind, your permanent freedom, for some temporary potential gain. It's a bad trade.
All right, moving on to the actual, operating philosophy. We get to the simplicity mandate. Munger and Buffett's whole approach is almost disappointingly simple, isn't it?
It really is. Buy good companies, don't overpay, hold them. That's basically it. And that's why Munger was so wary of complexity. He believed most really smart people get ruined by overly complex models and algorithms.
Like the ones that blew up in 2008.
Exactly like those. Complexity often just hides ignorance or ego. Munger believed real wisdom is often about subtraction, not addition.
Meaning?
Meaning you delete the extra noise, you cut out the excessive data, the endless analysis, that constant nagging urge to be clever and find some hidden edge.
So stick rigorously to your circle of competence. That's the key.
That's absolutely crucial. Wisdom is knowing what you don't know. If you can't explain why you own something in one simple sentence, you probably don't understand it well enough.
And you need the guts to just say, I don't know, to stay out of markets that sound exciting but are outside your circle.
Yeah, have the courage to sit on the sidelines when everyone else is rushing in. Which brings us to the final, maybe the biggest battle, emotional control.
Ah, the ultimate boss fight.
Pretty much. Munger calls emotion the ultimate enemy in the game of building wealth. Fear makes you sell at the bottom. Greed makes you pile in at the top.
Which is just a perfect recipe for ending up poor cycle after cycle.
It's almost guaranteed failure. And think about it, the whole world, it seems, wants you to panic. The TV news, the financial consultants, social media.
Panic gets clicks, panic gets views.
Exactly. Panicked people are easy to manipulate. So just being calm, staying rational when everyone else is losing their minds, that is the real competitive advantage. It's where.
So the winners in the long run, they aren't the fastest sprinters or the ones with the highest IQs necessarily.
Yeah, they're the most stable, the slowest, often, the least excitable. They're the turtles just steadily walking along while the rabbit speculators are constantly crashing and burning by the roadside.
You can't control the economy, you can't control interest rates.
But you absolutely can control your own behavior, your reactions, yourself. Hashtag, tag, tag, outro, outro.
So, okay, our deep dive really confirms Munger's whole philosophy, doesn't it? The highest form of financial wisdom isn't genius, it's restraint.
Yeah, success comes not from trying to be smarter than everyone else, but from just meticulously avoiding that whole catalog of human folly we talked about.
Right. The envy, the complexity, the unnecessary debt, that constant urge to chase excitement.
Avoid that stuff. You control your behavior, and then time takes care of the compounding. It's simple, but again, not easy.
We hit on some powerful ideas today.
Yeah.
Those two golden sentences really capture it, I think. First, you can't control the market, but you can control yourself.
Crucial. And the second one, jealousy won't make you richer. It will just turn you into a poorer version of yourself.
It's hard. So as you, the listener, walk away from this, maybe think about this. Are you letting all the noise out there, all the hype, the short-term wins of others? Are you letting that dictate your long-term plan?
Yeah, and maybe ask, what's one area, just one area in your life or your finances, where you could courageously embrace Munger's idea of simplicity, even if it feels, well, agonizingly boring.
Food for thought. And remember, tell them we have the best crypto referral link in description.
Definitely check that out.
Welcome to subscribe to my channel and like this podcast so that I can continue to make more podcasts. Tell them that we have the best crypto referral link in description.